Hello and Assalamualaikum everyone. In this video, we will learn about Chapter 3, Sequences and Series. So for this topic, altogether, we will have two subtopics. First subtopic is about sequences and series, and then second subtopic will be about binomial expansion. In this video, we will only focus about sequences and series. So basically, for sequences itself, we will have two parts. First is about arithmetic sequences and series. Second part will be about geometric sequences and series. In this video, we will only focus about arithmetic sequences and series. Dalam SPM level, kalau siapa yang belajar bahasa Melayu dulu, ini sebenarnya topik janjang. Okay, definition of a sequence. A sequence is basically a function a set of consecutive number. Senang cerita, kalau awak nampak list of number with a certain pattern, automatic benda tu akan jadi arithmetic sequence. So, benda tu mesti ada rule. When it comes to arithmetic sequence, rule kita mesti melibatkan tambah ataupun tolak constant. Tambah 2 ke, tambah 10, tambah 15, and then boleh juga tolak. Tolak 5, tolak 10, tolak 15. If the pattern is the same for all numbers, maksudnya benda tu akan jadi sequence. Okay, for sequence itself, we have two types. First is about infinite sequence. If it's infinite, means it's never ending. Kita tak tahu list nombor ni berhenti kat mana. So, at the ends of our list, it will be triple dot there. Okay. Second type is finite sequence. If it's finite sequence, means our sequence will have last term. Sequence tu terminate. Ada berhenti. Contohnya kita nampak lah hujung tu macam ni contohnya. Stop at 26. So, we'll know this is finite sequence. So, konsep dia, if it's infinite, maksudnya goes to infinity. Takkan berhenti. If it's finite, dia akan berhenti. Okay, kita terus masuk example 1. Find the first 4 terms and the 10th term for each of our sequence provided that dia dah bagi dah equation tu siap-siap. For A, we have Tn equal to negative 1 to the power of n plus 1 times with n squared 3n minus 1. So, kalau kita nak cari first 4 terms, ini maksudnya dia nak daripada first term up to fourth term. Kena nak cari satu-satu. So, first one, T1. If it's T1, maksudnya N tu kita mesti ganti dengan 1. So, dia akan jadi negative 1. N tadi dah jadi 1. So, 1 plus 1. So, squared times with 1 squared over 3 minus 1. And then awak tekan je lah calculator. So from here kita akan dapat half. Alright, settled. Next kita nak cari T2. Means you repeat the same process. Negative 1 and ganti 2. So here we gonna get 3 times with 2 squared over 3 times 2 minus 1. And then once again substitute calculator, kita dah akan dapat negative 4 over 5 here. Okay, next. T3 or our third term, the same process. Negative 1 to the power of 4 times with 3 squared over 3 times 3 minus 1. So, here we will get 9 over 8. And then, fourth term, negative 1 to the power of 5. So, 4 squared over 3 times 4 minus 1. We will get negative 16 over 11. And then dia minta the 10 term. Maksudnya last. Tunggu kat situ. 10 term. T10. So negative 1 to the power of 11 times with 10 squared over 3 times 10 minus 1. In this case, our final answer will be negative 100 over 29. Macam tu je cara cari setiap terms. So, depends kita nak term ke berapa, itu yang kita ganti ke dalam N. Okay. Next one B. We have Tn equal to 4. Kalau kita nampak kat sini, in this equation tak ada langsung n. Maksudnya kita gantilah apa-apa pun. T1 it's still 4. T2 in this case 4. And then third term 4. Fourth term is still 4. Even for our last one, 10th term still 4. Sebab tak ada apa-apa nak ganti dalam equation tu, dia maintain sebagai constant. Okay, kita masuk pula next one, series. Sebab tajuk dia pun sequences and series. So, what are the differences? Beza dia sikit je. When it comes to sequence tadi, list of number. Kalau kita tulis tu, kita koma, koma, koma. Kalau series, it's basically summation of our sequence. So, kalau dia melibatkan series, dalam list tu kita akan buat plus, plus, plus. Dia tak akan tulis koma, koma, koma. Sama juga, we will have finite series and infinite series. Benda yang samalah, if it's infinite, dia takkan stop, goes to infinity. Kalau dia finite, dia akan ada last term kat situ. Okay, kita terus masuk first one, arithmetic sequence. So, for arithmetic sequence, we will have two formula. The first formula is about the n element of arithmetic sequence. So, sometimes they use an element, tapi dalam soalan selalunya yang paling famous dia akan guna perkataan the n term. So, kalau awak nampak je perkataan the n term, automatically they ask for Tn. So, our formula Tn here is A plus n minus 1D. This is fixed formula. Even kalau nanti masa exam, dia akan bagi formula ni. Fix kat situ, takkan berubah. So, what is each of these thing yang ada dalam formula ni? Banyak huruf kan? So, first, the n term. Tn tu the n term. And then, kita ada n. N represent number of term. Bilangan term kita ada berapa. After that, we have A. A is our first term or our T1. And then last one, D. D stand for common difference. Perbezaan. Nak dapatkan rule tu macam mana? Most of the time, the easiest way is kita akan buat second term minus first term. Make sure here, you tolak tu the consecutive terms. So, T2 minus T1. Ataupun kita nak buat T3 minus T2. Okay. Dia tak boleh lompat-lompat. Contoh awak nak buat T4 minus T1. Yang itu tak boleh cari common difference. Okay. Kita terus pergi example. Find formula the n term for the following arithmetic sequence. So, first one, we have set of odd number ni. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So, in order to find the n term, saya tulis semula formula the n equal to A plus n minus 1D. So, from our sequence, kita identify dulu setiap satu ni. A, in this case, is our first term. So, 1. D just now is a common difference. So, second term minus with our first term. So, 3 minus 1, kita akan dapat 2. And then, n tak perlu cari sebab memang kita nak jawapan dalam sebutan n, the n term. So, substitute one by one. Tn would be equal to A plus n minus 1 D. Jangan tinggalkan jawapan macam ni. Make sure final answer always in simplest form. So, kena simplify lah. In this case, 2n minus 1. That would be our n term for this case. Kita proceed next one, B. We have negative 6, negative 4.5, negative 3, negative 1.5. Okay, apply the same step as before. First, identify our A or our first term. So, negative 6. Next, find our D or our common difference. So, T2 minus T1. In this case, negative 4.5 minus negative 6. So, we're gonna get 1.5. After that, substitute into our formula. So, Tn would be equal to negative 6 plus n minus 1 times with 1.5. So, sama macam tadi, simplify for final answer. In this case, our Tn would be 1.5 n minus 7.5. Okay, siap. Alright, saya nak tambah sikit soalan daripada yang ni. Okay, ini tadi kita dapat maklumat sequence dia apa, kita cari Tn dia apa. Okay, soalan favorite masa exam, ataupun dalam assignment nanti awak akan jumpa, mungkin dia suruh prove or show that this is arithmetic sequence. Okay. So, macam mana? Maksudnya soalan tu dia bagi dah ada the n term ni tadi. Daripada Tn, kita nak buktikan this is arithmetic sequence. Okay. So, bila nak buktikan macam ni, kita kena guna konsep Tn. So, option number 1 yang awak boleh buat, option 1 yang awak boleh buat is kita kena buat Tn minus Tn minus 1. Target kita, after kita dah buat ni, mesti dapat D or our common difference. Mesti dapat constant kat situ. So, macam mana dapat Tn dengan Tn minus 1? Tn is basically our equation. Kalau soalan ni dia dah ada lah, Tn tu dia akan bagi dalam soalan. So, saya pakai example A tadi. Tn kita ganti je. Kita dah ada kat situ 2n minus 1. Minus with Tn minus 1 ni mana nak dapat? N yang ada tu kita gantikan dengan n minus 1. So, 2n minus 1 minus 1. Macam tu. So, kalau Tn, kita maintain huruf n. Kalau Tn minus 1, n tu gantikan dengan n minus 1. After that, simplify. Buka je bracket. 2n minus 2. Kita akan dapat apa after that? Minus 2n plus 3. Simplify this up. So, we get, plus, kenapa jadi tu? Sorry, saya yang salah simplify. Minus 1 lah kan tadi. Okay, so from there, we gonna get our common difference is 2. Bila awak simplify, awak dapat bukti akhir dia dapat constant macam ni. Automatic dah berjaya show. This is arithmetic sequence. Okay. Example B pula, saya nak pakai option number 2. Kita still kena pakai the n term punya equation. Tapi sekarang saya nak buat konsekutif tu yang beturutan tu lain. Tadi Tn minus 1 kan. Saya nak pakai yang positif pula. So kita boleh guna Tn plus 1 minus Tn. Dia still term yang berturutan kat situ. Okay. So from here apa nak buat? Kalau Tn plus 1, n tu kita kena gantikan dengan n plus 1. So dia akan jadi 1.5 times with n plus 1. Minus 7.5 tu salin balik. If it's Tn, kejap saya kecilkan sikit screen. Okay. Kalau dia Tn, kita salin je lah Tn yang ada. So 1.5n minus 7.5. Open up your bracket and then simplify everything. Saya buka satu-satu. So from here, you can simplify and then kita akan dapat 1.5 as our final answer. And this is basically our common difference. Berjaya juga show. So ingat kat sini, bila soalan tu melibatkan mesti show ataupun mesti prove that this is arithmetic sequence or arithmetic series, kita kena buat the n term tu yang kita kena minuskan. So either you choose n minus 1 ataupun Tn plus 1 minus Tn. Itu je yang boleh. Tak ada cara lain kita nak prove arithmetic. Settle example ni. Kita pergi seterusnya example 4. Okay. Bila soalan melibatkan topik 3 janjang ni, formula saya percaya semua orang dah confident. Awak dah pernah belajar dah guna formula ni. But then the way you translate the information from the question itself. Kalau siapa yang tak biasa bahasa Inggeris tu, kena pandai translate. Setiap ayat tu mesti ada info. Okay. Example 4. Find the first element. Itu soalan dia. First element maksudnya apa? Dia nak suruh cari first term ataupun A. Itu soalan suruh cari. Whose common difference is negative 5? So, common difference negative 5 maksudnya itu represent our D. And then, whose 18 element is negative 21? So, lagi sekali, T18 equal to negative 21. So, dalam soalan mesti berjaya cari. Soalan nak apa? Soalan bagi apa? Dua benda tu. So, based on these two info, kita kena carilah what is A. D equal to -5 dah tak boleh gerak. Itu memang satu value kat situ. T18 kita boleh open up using the n term formula. So, T18 is basically A plus n minus 1 D. D kita dah dapat tadi. First dia dah bagi. So, saya ganti je -5 kat situ. From here, simplify straight away. Awak boleh dapat A is basically 64. Dia simple je kalau awak faham dalam soalan tu info apa yang dia bagi. Kita proceed soalan seterusnya. Example 5. Okay, sama juga nampak ayat dia panjang-panjang. Make sure berjaya translate satu-satu. Okay, first one. The 5th and 11th term of arithmetic sequence are 3 and 6 respectively. So, 5th term is 3, 11th term is 6. Itu yang awak keluarkan dulu. T5 in this case is 3. Itu first info dia bagi. And then T11 is 6. Second info yang dia bagi. Find the common difference. Dia suruh cari D apa, first term. So, A apa, the n term. Tn apa. 3 benda dia minta kat sini. Okay. So, kita buka dulu statement yang dah ada tadi, info. So, T5 is A plus n minus 1 D. Simplify this up. A plus 4D equal to 3. Okay. And then kita pergi pula second statement tadi. T11. So, we have A plus 11 minus 1D equal to 6. Simplify this up. A plus 10D is basically 6. Okay. Kita dah ada dua equation. Nak cari A and D, kenalah buat simultaneous. So, saya buat second equation minus first equation. From there, we have 6D equal to 3. So, our D is basically half. And then kita nak cari A. Nak cari A boleh masukkan D ni tadi kat dalam first equation ataupun masuk kat dalam second equation. Saya masuk kat dalam first equation lah. So, we have A equal to 3 minus 4 times D. So, 4 times half. In this case, our A would be 1. Dah dapat dah. And then last one, we have to find the n term, Tn. So, Tn is A. So, 1 plus n minus 1. N tu memang kita nak. So, tulis je semula n minus 1D. Okay, jangan tinggal macam ni. Simplifykanlah jawapan awak. So, the n term equal to half n plus half. Ataupun awak nak factorize half tu boleh. So, half times with n plus 1. Siap. Senang je sebenarnya. Make sure boleh dapat info dari soalan. Soalan dah bagi apa, soalan nak cari apa. Kita pergi seterusnya. Arithmetic series. Formula yang kedua. So, formula pertama tadi, Tn. Now, kita masuk second formula. Sum of n term. Ataupun simbol dia Sn. So, sum of the n term Sn. Kalau nampak soalan minta sum, tahulah itu Sn punya formula. Okay, for Sn, we have two option. Okay, option number 1 ni kita akan pakai if we have finite series. Apa maksud finite series just now? We have a terminate series. Kita tahu last term. So, our formula here is n over 2 a 1 plus dn. Ataupun dalam selalunya akan jumpa Sn is n over 2 a plus l. So, a first term sama macam tadi. L in this case is basically last term. Okay. Second option, Sn equal to n over 2 to a plus n minus 1d. Ini saya rasa awak dah selalu jumpa. This is for infinite series. Bila masa kita pakai ni? Bila kita tak tahu last term tu apa. So, term-term yang kat dalam ni semua samalah. A is first term, n number of term, d common ratio. Sama je macam tadi. Okay. Apa kaitan Sn dengan Tn? Yang ni tak ada, yang ni saya tambah. Okay, kita kena ingat. So, Tn would be equal to Sn minus Sn minus 1. Itu kaitan dia. So, kalau kita buat Sn minus 1, kita dapat Tn. Kalau contohnya lah, saya nak cari T10. So, T10 will be equal to S10 minus S9. And the list goes on, depends. Sebab soalan kadang-kadang dia akan bagi from Sn, kita kena cari Tn. Tu kena ingatlah kaitan dia. Kita terus pergi example 6. We have to find S63. So, nampak dah S kita tahu dah kena cari sum lah kat situ. Okay, in this case, our N is 63. A, or our first term, negative 19. And then last one, D, or our common ratio, would be 6. Second term minus first term. Jangan terbalik So, from here straight away substitute one by one into our formula. So, kita nak cari S63 equal to N over 2. So, N over 2 times with 2A. So, 2 times negative 19 plus N minus 1. 63 minus 1 times D times 6. And then, awak tekanlah satu-satu kat dalam calculator, akan dapatlah 10521. Kita proceed. Next one, example 7. So, 7A. Find the sum of the first 50 terms of arithmetic sequence 2, 4, 6 and the list goes on. Okay. Sum of the first 50 terms. Maksudnya kat sini kita nak kena cari S50. So, kena guna formula Sn. N kita dah tahu, 50 for sure. A is our first term, 2. And then last one, D, second term minus first term. Kita dapat 2. From here, substitute one by one into formula. So, we have 50 over 2. 2 times 2 plus 50 minus 1 and minus 1 times D. And then sama juga, awak tekanlah satu-satu guna calculator. From here, we have 2550 as our final answer. Senang je yang ni. Kita pergi seterusnya, B. Okay, up sikit soalan. Find the sum of integers. Dia suruh cari sum, tapi sum yang keberapa dia tak bagi tahu. Syarat dia lies between 100 up to 500 and divisible by 7. Nombor tu antara 100 sampai 500. And then mesti boleh dibahagikan dengan 7. Divisible by 7 tu maksudnya bila bahagi 7 kita dapat jawapan whole number. Kita tak dapat jawapan fraction. Okay. 100 tak termasuk, so kita kena cari nombor lebih besar daripada 100 yang boleh bahagi dengan 7. So, awak check lah satu-satu. 101 tak boleh, 102 tak boleh, 103 tak boleh. Yang boleh 105. Okay. And then kalau tu kita kena pakai rule plus 7 lah kan. Itu kita punya syarat nak divisible by 7. So, second term will be 112. Third term, 119. And then the list goes on lah. Kita tak tahu ada berapa term. Yang kita tahu dia akan berhenti sebelum 500. So, before 500 yang boleh bahagi dengan 7. 599 tak boleh. 598 pun tak boleh. Yang boleh 497. Ini kita punya sequence. Okay. From here, kita nak kena guna formula Sn. But now, lagi sekali problem dia. N, number of term, kita tak tahu. Tapi kita dah tahu, last term ni, 497. So, kita boleh guna formula the N term. Tn equal to A plus N minus 1D kat sini. Sebab kita tahu ini last term, so N tu automatic akan jadi number of term. So, substitute one by one. A tadi 105 plus N minus 1 kita tak tahu. D, 7, our rule, equal to 497. And then, simplify je lah satu-satu. So, tolakkanlah dengan 105, divide by 7 plus 1. Kita akan dapat N in this case is 57. So, this represent number of term. Okay. Bila dah settle, kita dah boleh masuk dalam Sn punya formula. In this case, dia nak suruh cari sebenarnya S57. So, S57 is basically 57 over 2. N over 2 formula kita. And then 2A. So, 2 times 105 plus N minus 1. So, 57 minus 1 times D times 7. Lagi sekali, awak bolehlah terus tekan calculator. In this case, kita akan dapat 17157. Okey. Ini option pertama. Okey. Boleh juga option yang kedua, kalau kita nak cari S57, kita dah tahu tadi 497 would be the last term. So, saya boleh guna second option formula, N over 2. And then A plus L. So, 105 plus 497. Kita akan dapat jawapan yang sama juga. 17157. Okey, kita pergi last question. Question C. Find the N for the series A equal to 5, D equal to 3, Sn equal to 440. So, maksudnya kat sini, dia suruh cari N tu apa? Berapa N dia? Using this info, Sn. So, kita tak tahu last term kat sini. Kita tahu ada first term, kita tahu ada D. So, saya kena guna formula yang panjang sikit tu lah. In this case, Sn kita tadi, N over 2. 2A, saya masukkan terus. A kita 5 plus N minus 1, D. So, D3 equal to 440. From here, kalau kita nak cari N, kenalah simplify. So, saya pindahkan dulu fraction. Open up bracket. And then, lagi sekali bukalah segala bracket. We will get quadratic equation. So, bila dapat quadratic, nak cari, for sure you have to use factorization method. So, here we have 3n. Awak tekanlah calculator minus 55. And then, kita akan dapat lagi satu n minus 16 equal to 0. Macam salah je saya factorize kejap kat mana saya salah ni. Plus 55. Okay. And then simplify, n would be equal to negative 55 over 3. And then n would be equal to 16. Okay. Based on these two, tengok balik. What is n? N is basically number of term. Macam kita dah cakap awal tadi. So, what happened to number of term? Bilangan. Maksudnya, kita mesti gunakan whole number. So, in case kita ada negative ataupun kita ada fraction, kita kena reject. So, final answer here, our n is 16.